Hello, thank you for joining us today. I'm Alexa Choi, Chief Operating Officer of G2X. And instead of sitting at my desk, I'm standing. So if I'm moving around, that's why. I'll try not to do that. I know it's kind of annoying and weird. At least I'm not walking on a treadmill like some people do. Anyway, thank you for coming today. Looking forward to sharing with you a lot of new improvements and features and functionality from G2X. And if you are here from my team, thank you for joining. And we are super excited. So let me go ahead and share my screen and let's go. We've got so much to cover today. So Marianne, can you see my screen okay?
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. So if you are here, just know that Marianne is our specialist on the back end. If you need any sort of support, if anything goes down, or if you can't hear or see, she's there to support you. Also, put your LinkedIn profile inside of our chat so that way you can connect with each other as well. It's a great opportunity. I think we had about 40 something people sign up for today, so hopefully folks will trickle in as I get going here. What you're looking at here is the G2X homepage, and I created this my own little environment here for this demo, so you didn't have to look at my 82,000 tabs that are open on my other one. But when you're here, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about G2X and where we've been and where we're going. So historically, a lot of folks know us as a newsletter company. So we would send out the daily take and people would get it. In fact, it was, wildly popular for 10 years. And people even said things like, industry runs on G2X, which is, and we love to hear that. But over the years, we wanted to really develop a tool that supported growth professionals and the government from the time that you identify an opportunity or you're starting to build one out in the government's case all the way up until you close it out. So we are on a mission now to really develop one tool to support them all. Sort of a game of, not Game of Thrones, but what's the other one? Oh man, now I'm blanking on it. Lord of the Rings. One ring to rule them all. One tool to help them all. So we kind of were going down that path, and really you're going to start to see new tools and functionality popping in over, like, we're releasing things over 2 week sprints, sometimes even faster. We're trying to get things out there. And then of course, you're going to see the beta tags on things. We just released opportunities to everybody, and then we have pipelines as well that's rolling out this week. So you're going to start to see this kind of functionality, and then of course the interconnectivity between those tools and functionality. So for today's presentation, I'm going to start up here at our events, and I'm going to kind of like work my way down this panel over here, and then sometimes I'll be up here at the top because that's really where all of your functionality lives, is up on the corner and then up on the top. So G2X has the most robust events database in the industry, and we've also created an AI tool, which I will show you and tell you about, and we're going to start connecting the dots on those two things. The new features and then connecting new features and then connecting. You're going to notice a theme. But one of the things you're going to notice in here is that we are tracking things that are not just industry and not just government, but really both of those together to give you that 360 view of opportunities across industry and government, so you can stay on top of different things that are happening. So let me also tell you a fun workflow that I use personally, and Marianne knows very well. But when we're trying to plan a big event, she asks me to dedupe the dates from the calendar. And so what I do to do that is, she'll say, what about having an event in April the 14th to, April the 18th, like what's happening that exact week. So when she asks me that, I come in here and do exactly that workflow, hit search, and it's going to pull up everything that's happening that week, which by the way is a light week because in Fairfax County and Loudoun County, that week is spring break. So companies like ours and others that hold events, I'm talking about on the forum side of the house, not G2X side of the house, this week is sort of off limits. But Oracle, Brave Oracle, is doing something and a few other things. So this is a great way to dedupe events if you're looking to host something in the area. It's a little bit of an unknown workflow. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do is pop into our search here. And this search, if you are in the tool now following along, it might look a little bit different for you because we're rolling out our global search, which is one of our features this week that we're rolling out. But the functionality is very much the same. So I'm going to pop over here into our categories, which you probably know and love from the daily take. So you're able to filter by awards, industry moves, opportunities. And the reason why I'm going over this is because it's very specific to G2X and it's very different than something like a GovWin or another tool that you might be used to using. We just have approached and built over 10 years the system from a very different mentality, right? It's more of like keeping a pulse of the industry rather than from a document or an opportunity perspective that that Govwin might be approaching it, right? And we love Govwin. We're a better together story. But I just wanted to put that out there as to like why I'm showing you this so you can split this out. So then if you pop into agencies, you can also filter this down. So for example, if you wanted to take a look at CMS, and then look at opportunities that are coming out of CMS, you can do both of those and then save this search, right? And then of course we're tracking the CMS opportunity report whenever it drops from the forecast. And one of our team members goes through and highlights everything in green, that's an addition, and everything in red, that's a subtraction. So when G2X is definitely merging from being a BD tool into being very much a capture tool. And one of the things that you can learn is really if CMS is taking something off of a pipeline or off of a forecast, like why are they doing that, right? And then of course, one of the biggest upcoming deals, I think, for 2025 is the Ramada recompete. So we're definitely tracking all that stuff, but you hit save search, then you're going to be getting those emails sent to your inbox. And it actually has a lot of functionality behind your save search, which was kind of cool. And then you could do your notification instant and daily. One thing I do want to point out here is even if you say instant, which is what I always do because I like to be in the know about things, I'm going to pop over here to this bell and just show you how many saved searches I have. I have a lot. This is like the way my brain works. So I wanted to let you know that I don't get inundated with emails from G2X. The way the logic is built is that you're going to get a few emails a day, and it's going to be rolled up under every single one of these searches. So rather than getting 100 emails, I'm going to get one email that says, these are the DHS ICE things, these are the and it just popped in there to that search. It's going to be giving me all of those results, but rolled up underneath of it so I don't get like inundated with a bunch of emails. So that's how that logic works. If you are subscribed to any one of our vertical platforms, then you can pop in here into any of these and kind of do that same saved search and filter down here. You will have access to it up here as well. It's just kind of dependent on where you want your homepage to be. Let me WikiLeaks something. We are building the ability to choose your own homepage. So if you like the health slice to be your homepage, hopefully that will be one of the options. Or if you want, or even our GovCon directory to be one of the platform, like the homepage selections, you can set your own to what makes sense to you when you log in, because we know that different people have different workflows and all of those things are very different and personal for people as well. So, all right, I'm going to keep on rolling down this section over here. One thing I do want to answer, if you might have in your head, is you might ask yourself, well, does G2X track Intel? I get asked that maybe like once a day. So the answer is no, we do not. If CIA is going to have an industry day, we'll probably grab it for the events, but the opportunities coming out of the CIA are behind, I think the tool is called Scattered Castles. Like we don't have access to that, right? So however, when it comes to the Fourth Estate and some of the other Intel adjacent agencies, DISA, DARPA, some of those, we absolutely do track those things. So keeping track of all of those in here under the defense vertical is where those would live. A lot of things are cross-posted, health and DoD, because of the DHA and the VA too. Some of those things cross-post. So just letting you know about that. I'm going to pause there and see before I get into the bottom half of the menu here, which is very, I would say, capture heavy. I'm going to see if there's any questions.
And I don't see any.
Okay, fantastic. I will continue to roll along in my training. I'm going to pop over into the reports tab here and just let you know that we publish reports based on different things that we're seeing and different requests that come in. And I do get a lot of requests around, well, can G2X write me a recompete report for SBA? Yeah, we can. We'll also publish it. So, that's how that works. Usually we have a backlog of things that we know are hot, and our analyst team, which is amazing, we'll go ahead and grab those and write them up. So these are really, really heavy reports, data heavy, with a lot of tying together of things. So for example, this one is about T4NG. This is a 2-part report done by Brittany. Brittany is our lead analyst. She's amazing. And if you scroll on down, you're going to see that she has mapped back every single T4 and G2 awardee back to their JV owners and who purchased them. And this is really an evolving space as they're waiting for T4 and G2 to get its ATO, because it's in protest purgatory, like so many of these are. So you can kind of scroll down here. And excitingly, we do have a two-part series where we have broken out all of their task orders and mapped it out to their subcontracts and prime contracts, so you can get a good pipeline going for VA. This is really what these reports are about, is helping you build your pipeline. And you're going to notice that we've got, reports around Department of Transportation. We've got like CMS, DHS, all kinds of different agencies in here. So feel free to get in there and read those. Sometimes we write reports on actual vehicles. And I think I might do a report on Stars 4 if I feel like it's going to be exciting. But this fits to, them basically getting a $1.1 billion boost and nobody talking about it. I was like, I have to talk about this. So, that's why we wrote that report. But so definitely don't sleep on the report section. If there's no questions there, I'm going to move on to opportunities. So when we pop into the opportunities tab, you're going to notice that this looks a lot like any other tool that you're using to find opportunities that are listed on sam.gov. It is a feed from sam.gov. So when you come in here, the best way that I like to filter is by NAICS code. And my favorite NAICS code, don't tell anybody, but is 541512. I have a close couple of seconds, but that's like my first one. I'm just gonna pop open Alliant 3, but I just noticed I popped that caret down first, so you can kind of see a little bit about the basic intel here, and also this big green button that pops up, show in pipeline, because that tells me I already have this in my pipeline. But before I go to showing it in your pipeline, I'm gonna open up a different one, so that way I can show you what it looks like if it's not in your pipeline. So I just opened this, and you can scroll down and see that it's going to give you all of your attachments here, and then you can bounce back to sam.gov if you want to, if you need to. It also gives you G2X insights. And really, if you think about like, hey, Alexa, why would I, by the way, that was actually supposed to be kind of funny because you're talking to your AI. I'm not an AI, but I try. Hey, Alexa, why would I look at this in G2X when I could just go get it from Sam? Good question, right? Two things. Number one, we have all of this data down here at the bottom that we're matching with AI as similarly related and situated information that could just help you be smarter. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you can add this to your pipeline. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a pipeline. I call it justice. I think this is a justice opportunity, right? No, it's IRS pipeline. Call it an IRS pipeline, create, and it's going to say, do you want to add this opportunity? Yes, I do. And then I'm going to hit close. And I'm going to hit close. I'm going to come back here. So if I refresh this, then it's going to say show in pipeline. So you saw that little workflow there, show in pipeline. So instead of showing you that in the pipeline, I'm just going to pop over to the pipelines. And you're going to see I have a few pipelines. I have my Department of State pipeline, and Evolve is living in there, maybe forever, who knows. And then I've got my IRS pipeline down here. So if I open this IRS pipeline, oh boy, okay. Well, as I mentioned, this tool's in beta, so maybe I'll open a different pipeline and talk about my states. It's not working. It's fingers crossed. This is gonna work. Okay, good. Sometimes when tools are in beta and you click on it, it's like, oh, please work. Okay. So we're over here. I've got a few different opportunities in here. I'm going to open up the beloved Department of State Evolve, which is actually, it's showing right here. I have in proposal development. I'm going to scoot this over to proposal submission. And really, this column could be called source select, right? That's what I would call it if I was building this out. So just to let you know that if you wanted to change the flow of any of this Kanban here, you could change the flow, change the names, call this something else. If you go into pipelines and in the corner, you see where these things are up here. In the corner of pipelines, you can actually change what they're called and move them around if you wanted to. So if I open up Department of State Evolve opportunity, you're going to see a few different things in here. Number one, you can add tasks here, and you can assign tasks to different people, which is kind of cool. You got your P1 and your work share weighted here. You've also got some capture notes. over here as well that you can write and you can add notes here. Couple of things that are really, really cool. Again, like, hey, Alexa, why would I want to do this here when I could just use Excel? Well, first of all, hopefully that's obvious. But if you come in here and do capture insights and you wanted to click this little plus button here, you could actually be pulling in, like, let's just say, I'm going to filter this by Department of State because we're talking about a state opportunity. I'm going to close this. So I'm going to say, you know what? I know this one is going to be a task order on Evolve. This one's going to be a task order on Evolve, and so is that. So I know that these things are going to come out as task orders on Evolve. I'm going to add them to the opportunity. So now you can do this with industry moves, with awards, with protests. So as you can see, if you've been doing your job for a long time, and if you know about BD and capture, you're building out a capture plan inside of G2X. And this is where we're headed. This is where we want to be. We want to live squarely in here and really know and love it. So let me show you how this works. So we were here, G2X Insights overview. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but before I do, I'm going to show you that you can go into the solicitation details and you can get all of them here without having to bounce back into the opportunity, including all of the attachments. So that's going to be a handy tool so you don't have to go all the way back. But in the overview section, this is how you're going to populate all of these things up here at the top. So of course you've got your critical decision factors, who it is, what they're buying, their NAICS codes. And then when you pop up in your strategic fields, you're going to get your project role as a prime or a sub. You're going to get your calculated PWIN, your expected revenues and all of that stuff. Then you've got 2 more carrots you can open up here to play with some more fields if you want to. You can also see that we're building out these sections here that are coming where you can do your capture planning, your research, your requirements, your submitting, your whole thing can be done inside of here. So I know that when I was doing this for other companies, one of the things I'd have to do regularly is present to executives. So let me show you that reporting function. If you scroll back into pipelines and you go into reports, the first thing it's going to say is, well, which one of these do you want to take a look at as far as, dashboards. That's where I was going. Dashboards, state dashboard. Then you can see it's giving you this dashboard view that you can actually present from here rather than presenting from hodgepodge of different areas, if that's something that you do. So, all right, it's 12:17. I just did a whole lot of talking about opportunities and pipelines and kind of bounce back and forth between there. Does anybody have any questions before I go to the GovCon directory?
Not seeing anything. Give people
I'm taking a drink of tea because speaking like a million miles a minute.
another quiet group.
I know, another quiet group. Come on, guys, stump me with a question. All right. I'm going to pop over to companies and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So we have this popular trending company thing up here on top, which is kind of cool. And if you jump into any one of these opportunities, you're going to see up at the top, you've got their trending profile. This isn't like a super expressive one. So let me just pop back over here and find one that I know has a very built out profile and show you what it looks like. So Visual Connections is a SDVOSB company, and they have a very built out profile. So we're going to talk about this, right? It's claimed. If you are a corporate member, you can claim your profile. And also, if you do that, it's going to rope together all of the people that are subscribers and users of G2X. And the way that this helps you is that one of our biggest user groups on G2X is the government itself. So the government's in here and they're looking for different companies. They're looking at past performance. They're looking at these different parts and pieces. And they're like, well, who do I reach out to if I want to do business with this company? Boom, people on G2X. You can click into this. And then just from this view right here, you can already see that Fred Dees is the CEO. He's probably the guy to reach out to. And what's cool about Fred is he actually has the company website here. He's got a little bit about him, all those types of things. And he's actually very funny, types with 2 fingers. Hysterical. So if you wanted to know, well, Fred's got a nice profile here, where can I go ahead and fill out my profile? It's up here at the top with your profile up here. And then I also just wanted to let you know that G2X, we have an amazing support system as well. And you might be looking at this and being like, where's my customer success team outreach, right? Where do I get to that? So if you scroll all the way down here to the bottom, you've got this contact support button down here. If you hit this button, it's going to pop up with this form. And this does go into a help desk that's in HubSpot. And then there's a ping back to Slack. So we are very aware of people that are submitting things, so send us love letters. Just kidding. If you have any problems or any challenges or you run into any bugs, as you saw, sometimes it happens with software that's in beta, we're happy to help. And I have to say, shout out to the customer success team. We have an amazing team. And in fact, the team lead, Julie, has been with the business for the entirety of the time that G2X has been in business. So big hearts go out to them. Thank you for all your hard work. I'm going to just jump back into company profiles for a second and show you that you can also explore companies as well. So if you pop in here, I'm just going to clear out this search. Just going to do a little bit of a clearing here and pop into companies here and then pop into here. You can actually sort by socioeconomic and say, all right, I'm looking for a 8A firm close that does work in my favorite NAICS code and close, and then you're going to see that you have a list and pages and pages and pages of 8A firms that do work in that NAICS code. So I'm going to pop in here to forward think and show you what it looks like. So it's claimed profile for people. You know, I actually really love this company. Charisma is one of my favorite people of all time, and that's her photo right there. And this company does incredible things, and it's woman-owned, small business, it's 8A, it's all the things, and they've got really great past performance, especially in the tech qual space. So this is a really great way to find different companies and to do the research that you need to do. All right, how much time do we have? We have 8 minutes. Okay, with the 8 minutes that I have left, I'm going to show you a couple of cool AI things since it's all the rage right now. When I open the news, I don't know if it's going to talk about Trump or if it's going to talk about Elon or if it's going to talk about DeepSeek. I could who knows? But anyways, here we are. GovAIQ down here at the bottom, this is a proposal writing tool. And if you open it up and if you sign into it, which you can do for free if you are a G2X user, you just have to connect your login one time and then you just log into it from there after that. You're going to see that you can create a new workspace and you can do this from your computer, or you can upload it from a sam.gov link. And when you do that, it's going to ask you which documents do you want it to read, blah, blah, blah. So when you do that, I'm just going to show you one that I've already done. It is a USDA opportunity. Cool thing is it pops up with this chatbot that you can actually ask the chatbot like, hey, what is the scope of work? Just so you can make sure that you're understanding everything and you're not behind, like missing one of the pieces. This is for APHIS. And really it's giving you the different like sections that they're looking for. Okay, cool, no problem, that looks fine. And then if you pop into Copilot, I've already trained the bot on this one. So it has pulled up, basically the way that I like to explain this is that it's a proposal outline. It takes you from 0 to light pink in like 15 minutes. But really, if you take a look at the way that it's written, you're going to need to add in your own pieces, right? Including this, including desired outcome, client satisfaction rating. But one of the nice things is we didn't ask you to upload your past performance. So you don't have to worry about security and like, oh, where is it going? Who has access to it? No, we just gave you an outline. Here you go. Start from here, right? And I know that from having worked on a lot of blue teams, like having a document like this to start from is really, really helpful. So I hope that you can get into GovAIQ, and I hope that you can play with it. We are building a version 2 where you can upload proposals and then upload resumes and have them write the resumes to match the proposals. Ooh, have we been wanting that one for a long time, right? Proposal people. Okay, let me pop back over to our top level home site. So if you go over to g2x.com, the one thing I wanted to show you from here is our Lumen tool. So if you go into sam.gov and if you grab any opportunity, and if you come over here to our homepage, this is a free tool. If you put a / here, and then if you paste the SAM link here, it's going to open up what we lovingly call Lumen, and it's going to ask you, do you want to start to read this document? And we're just going to say, yes, read this document. So it's uploaded. It's already ingested it. So now you can ask questions like, okay, well, what is the government looking for specifically, right? And so then now it's going to be reading it and it's going to tell you, all right, okay, it's looking for, oh, and the government is asking for a ROM. That's a pet peeve of mine when the government asks for a ROM on a source of SOT. Like, you know how much money you have to pay for this? Don't ask me for a ROM. Okay, let me go back. Let's get off my soapbox. If you pop over here, you're gonna see your insights. your details, you've got your history, and you've got all your parts and pieces from here. You can even see across the top, there's been no competition as the source is sought and when it's due. So it's pretty much a fast way to shred your RFIs. This is what everybody uses it for. I think it's really great. It's called Lumen and it lives on our homepage. And again, you can get there by going G2Xchange.com/pasting anything in here. I've got 5 more minutes. Excellent. Let me show one more AI tool.
Let me pipe in real quick. You do have
Yeah.
one question.
Okay.
Will the team be creating a pipeline forecast for Oasis Plus opportunities?
Is Brittany Winkler on the call?
Maybe. I know Julie is. Yes, Brittany is as well.
Okay, Brittany, can you take a note, put that in the backlog, Oasis Plus forecasted opportunities that are coming up for recompete? I know she's probably giving me a big
Yep.
thumbs up right now.
He said, got it.
Fantastic, wonderful. See how easy that is to get us to write a report? Just tell us what you're looking for, because the way that we look at it is like if somebody on the call is looking for this, somebody else is going to want it eventually too. So we do know that the big recompetes, and which is why we mapped out T4 and G task orders, or Brittany did. That kind of information and getting ahead of it is really important. So I think that is something we can absolutely do. All right, so if I pop down here, what I basically did was open up govcon.events. This is our really awesome tool for this, and I'm going to show you guys how it works. You put in your LinkedIn profile here, you hit find events, and what it's going to do is it's going to recommend events for you and tell you why it thinks that event is good for you, right? You can register for the event, you can share it, you can mark that you're interested, and you can copy it to your clipboard. So if you work for a company that's like, we want you to get out there, but you have to provide us with business cases as to why you have to go, we want you to go, copy this to the clipboard, and then you can send that to your boss directly. A couple more things on this. If you come down to the bottom, you can see the trending GovCon events, which is, we also are tracking the little happy hours that happen at the big conferences, man. It's gonna be super exciting. You've got a submit an event button right here. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, you can actually take a calendar view at all of the events that are happening over the next month, which is really cool and really goes to show you that this industry really likes to party. All right, with that being said, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to come over and see if anybody has any questions. Hey, Christy. Oh my goodness. Julie is a CX goddess. That is facts. Yes, feel free to add your question here. Great. All right. Does anybody have any other questions? I'm so glad everybody came to the training today. I know we've probably got 24 people on. Cool. As I mentioned, I'm Alexa Choi. My team is on the call as well. We are here to support and serve you as you grow and support the federal government. Let me know if there's anything else you need from us. And in the meantime, have a great day.